This is Raven Squad Operation Hidden Dagger. I said I'd do a review of this game at 1,000 subscribers. That was when I had like 600 or so, thinking, I'll never hit 1,000, so I don't have to worry about it. Tears flew from my face, not of joy, but of fear and sadness when I reached the milestone. It meant I had to play a game that is so infuriatingly boring. I could have just said no, but I guess deep down, I guess I enjoy the pain. So in 2009, this bad boy dropped on PC and 360. I happen to have the delisted Steam version, which does work out of box. There are some issues, like 1920 by 1080 not being fully supported, as seen here when I'm scoped in. For the most part, though, it ran perfectly fine. There were no crashes, and there was only one bug that I'll bring up later, but other than that, I was kind of shocked that it launched. It is kind of weird that it still shows 360 controller prompts. I don't have a controller plugged in, so I don't know why that's there. It's also hilarious that you get in-game achievements that mention how much gamer score they are worth. Something tells me this was supposed to be a 360 exclusive, but the publisher was like, and now let's do PC as well. This led them to do a one-to-one port with little effort. They probably just did the bare minimum to get it out the door in time. This is just speculation, though, as I couldn't find much development info. This is the developers' Atomic Motion only released title. The listed publishers, Evolved and South Peak, are both familiar, at least to me. They're responsible for some janky stuff. South Peak published Two Worlds and Scourge Hive. Evolved Games published the PC port of Dread vs. Death, originally, I think. I'm not sure because the game has a lot of listed publishers on every website that I see this game mentioned. The point is that Raven Squad was backed by smaller, lesser-known devs that you may have never heard of. Knowing all this, hindsight is 2020, but I'd say Raven Squad as an idea may have been a little too ambitious for this team. When Raven Squad was released, it got horrific reviews almost immediately. Funny enough, the website is still up where the publisher Evolved Games claim it got Best Strategy Game at E3 2009. I did a lot of research, and I didn't find any mention of Raven Squad anywhere in the E3 2009 press stuff. Not in any news articles, not in any like videos, nowhere really. I thought maybe it'd pop up at the Xbox press conference because this was on 360, but it wasn't there, and I don't even know why I thought that in hindsight. I found where IGN gave Supreme Commander 2 Best Strategy Game, which, yeah, one of my favorites. So that definitely means that Raven Squad did not get Best Strategy Game. So who said that? When I looked a little closer at these icons, I saw that there were no-name websites calling it the best strategy game at E3. So then Evolved was like, yes, it's someone said it. We can use this to make our game look better than it actually is. It's bold and scummy for sure. As you could super tell, I don't want to talk about Raven Squad in terms of gameplay or at all, really. But I guess I gotta talk about it, so let's just get to the nitty-gritty. Raven Squad has a story mode, and that's it. The multiplayer is just story mode and co-op. The story itself is pretty basic. Raven Squad is a mercenary group. They are hired to track down this crashed plane that has a hard drive full of sensitive corporate data. It crashed in the Amazons in the midst of a Brazilian civil war. It's like Diet Tom Clancy, you know? It's a very generic story that has the right idea but doesn't execute because the stakes are way too minimal. I mean, what happens if Raven Squad doesn't recover this data? Some corporation loses its data and like some trade secrets go out? I mean, I don't know. I don't really feel invested in this idea. As expected, Raven Squad's mission goes a little south, and the boys end up taking sides in the Civil War while also recovering the data. The progression of plot elements is pretty quick as the characters decide what to do on the fly. I can't really tell you why the squad took sides. I probably also wasn't paying attention. But at one point, they choose to trust a random lady who says that she's a satellite archaeologist. You know, like she does archaeology work via satellites. That is a thing, apparently. Anyway, she wants to be rescued because she's held captive, I think, and in turn, she's Raven Squad's eye in the sky. I explain all this now because the game has horrific voice acting, so you're not going to get the story from them in the most coherent of manner. I left the subtitles off so we could play a little game of what are they saying. Here, have a cutscene.
Hello? Is anybody listening? Hello?
Who is this? This is a secure line.
My name is Xian. I work here for Mr. Juarez. He's the richest plantation owner here. I'm a satellite archaeologist. He employed me to find some ancient ruins in the jungle. Then I found out he started the Civil War. He's the one jamming all communication and radar frequencies.
What do you want from us?
I was hoping you could get me out of this place. I have access to all satellite equipment in this base. I can guide you to your helicopter.
Miss, we'd like to help you, but we're not equipped to land on an enemy base.
It's a deal, then. Get us out of here in one piece, and you can have your dinner in the U.S. tonight.
Wow, you got some big ones. Trusting the chick from nowhere? Mounting a rescue?
Who the hell said we're gonna rescue her? We'll let her guide us to the chopper, and then we blow this pop stand.
It's very weird because sometimes Raven Squad shows you these pre-rendered cutscenes.
Amber, take cover.
Enemy sighted!
Bloody hell.
Dead end. We've got attacked. Enemy spotted!
They're very cinematic in nature. I mean, sure, there's some stiffness, but this is pretty good. Got a little bit of ambush going on here. And just ignore some of the continuity errors. By that I mean this is either a montage of events or these guys are teleporting around, because it just seems like the surroundings are changing more than you see them running around. Regardless, it looks pretty good. And why would the devs put all this effort in for some cinematic moments only to make the main character sound like this?
So we're gonna track this thing by the numbers. Find that plane, find the package, and rendezvous with our chopper at 1500 hours. Make it fast, people. I've got a poker match in Vegas in 2 days. I really don't want to be late.
Guess they had no other voice talent on hand. I mean, this is the pre-Fiverr days after all. I make that joke, but Voices.com was around at this time. But you know, people around the office and off the street was cheaper, I suppose. There's all kinds of funny moments, but I feel like if I show them all, it'd be longer than the actual review, so we're going to move on. On paper, Raven Squad is a real-time strategy, first-person shooter hybrid. Not a bad idea. There's a few strategy hybrids out there. You know, you got like Mountain Blade Warband, you got Executive Assault, you got Warshift. I mean, that's just off the top of my head. I'm sure there's a lot more than that. Raven Squad is quite simple. For the majority of the game, you control two squads, Infiltrator and Assault, orange and blue. You can use bird's eye views to give commands to the squads. You cannot give orders to the individual soldiers, so giving a squad order means all three soldiers do the same thing. The only orders available are move, attack, and use a soldier's special abilities. Each soldier has unlimited ammo for their primary weapons. I say primary, but no one has a sidearm. The special abilities range from an LMG, a sniper, a grenade, a flashbang. You know, basic stuff soldiers should probably have. The only special ability that's required to use is the rocket launcher and grenades, because sometimes there's obstacles that have to be cleared in order to progress. Other than that, the enemies can be taken out with bullets. Trucks with machine guns are easily taken out by a rocket, but a well-placed bullet kills the gunner, rendering the vehicle useless. I don't think I ever used flashbangs or smoke grenades. The game claims the LMG suppresses targets, making it harder for them to hit you, but I don't think that's the case, and I really don't feel like testing it out, so forget it exists. Anyway, in RTS mode, you can issue your soldiers to use these skills, but besides that, RTS mode is the most basic strategy mechanic I think I've ever seen in the whole genre. I played some bad RTS games in my day, but I can safely say that this rates pretty high on the boring as hell list. In Raven Squad, let's say you have 3 of your squad members taking cover. You want to send your sniper guy to an elevated position to provide overwatch. That's too bad. Everyone acts as a hive mind. This means the only real juggling or micromanaging you do is ordering 2 squads. It's like only having 2 units in an Age of Empires or Total War game. Since the AI is abysmal, which we'll look at further in the FPS segment, the firefights take a little too long to complete. So it's just sitting back, watching the AI shoot, move to the next spot, sit back, watch the firefight, rinse, and repeat. It's nice to have this camera view for knowing where to go and what enemies you're about to face, but besides that, this whole feature should have been cut. Use the dev time for better shooting mechanics, which let's just go ahead and explore that now. Since I brought up the AI relatively recently, I just want to address that first. The AI has a really hard time engaging you at certain times. I'll find the AI taking cover, and I had all the time in the world to reload or whatever I needed to do to react. On the other hand, they're laser point accurate, and there's no escaping them. They tend to try to flank you from what I've seen, but only sometimes. It seems like they're on a predetermined path, so whatever flanking I see could be that they just reached their destination that the developers planned beforehand. And the reason why I think this is because usually you're having these scripted moments where as you progress through a level, the AI is coming up behind you to kind of like put the squeeze on you. Moving on to the weapons, as said before, each soldier has a primary weapon and there's unlimited ammo. Each one shoots like absolute garbage. The AK of the primary character is decent, I suppose. Anything with a scope's kind of garbage due to the poorly supported resolution. Really, the only gun I could tolerate is in 90% of this footage. This Uzi-looking thing. This is the same character who has a sniper rifle as a special ability, so it creates a nice synergy of weapons. Still, the game is like shooting... I don't know. It's really hard for me to describe the shooting feel in video games. Just take my word for it. It's very stiff and basic. It annoys me that when you reload, when you still have ammo in the gun, the character still does the full animation. No need to rack. There's still one in the chamber. I think I've just been spoiled by like Call of Duty and Mill Sims and stuff where they have really smooth reloading, because these reloads just feel a little too long. Enemies take what seems to be like an inconsistent amount of damage. I could be hallucinating, but I feel like the required bullets to kill are ever-changing. And I kind of know that this might be a little true because I can say that the player receives inconsistent damage. I have no idea why I died in this clip here. It was instant. Meanwhile, in other areas, it took a while to finally, die, to get killed. Sometimes my health regenerates, sometimes it doesn't. It's honestly really weird. It doesn't affect the overall difficulty, though. Raven Squad isn't hard unless you're trying to brute force through sections. You see, as long as someone's alive, you can revive other soldiers. There's no limit to this ability. This is where the one bug I experienced comes in. My other squad got stuck in some level geometry. Not sure how this happened, but yep, stuck. Since I can't order individual units, the one free squad member would not leave their side despite giving orders. So when I got the other squad all killed, I got this revive timer. Apparently, you'll have a time limit if an entire squad goes down. Don't think I would have known this otherwise if it wasn't for this bug, so I guess some good came out of this. The not stuck soldier from the other squad was too far away, and no amount of running could get me there in time, which meant I had to be careful as I only had 3 soldiers instead of 6. But besides that one mishap, my deaths were due to me trying to speedrun the game to end the pain. It's not a hard game at all. The most annoying part of the FPS section is the lack of orders. There's only one order you can give, which is rallying on your position. It's frustrating because there's no follow me command, so I'm constantly giving the rally order so the other squad keeps up. So we have a strategy game, right? With squads where you can't give a whole lot of orders to. No move there, take cover, nothing like that. No command wheel, no number key orders, nothing. I mean, it's not like this game came out during a time where squad-based shooters were new. We've been having these type of games since the 90s. It's just weird. I can't express how boring this makes the game, and how boring it is in general. With no orders means no levels designed around commanding units. So you're not going to run up to a moment where the game is testing your knowledge and testing your ability to micromanage and give units orders, because they were never there to begin with. It's a standard corridor shooter, like a lot of budget games from other publishers like Jarhead or Activision Value, and you have this tacked on RTS element or order system, and it just sucks. The game probably would have been okay if it was just called Raven Squad and you played as one dude and you had some AI companions who ran around with you. It might have been a little bit better with a little bit more dev time focused on the actual shooting mechanics. I don't know, man. Without ranting some more, what else can I add? There's never new weapons, no new modes. There's nothing. It's just playing a terrible shooter on top of a terrible RTS. It also just makes it harder to take Raven Squad seriously on top of the bad voice acting when stuff like this happens.
Fine. Paladin, you and your squad take point at the clearing and cover any returning patrols.
No, you mean I can't regroup with my squad because of a downed tree? I just can't go through the woods? Hello, what kind of soldiers are you? Then there's like this out-of-nowhere boss fight that has a health bar. In this very grounded military game, you got a guy who has a health bar, and it's just some dude in normal army fatigues. He's not even wearing armor. This game is a drain, but I'd like to end this video giving Raven Squad some credit. It's hard to make a jungle theme varied. Typically, budget games taking place in non-urban areas struggle with variety and level design. Raven Squad has a deep jungle, a town, some farm areas, and different times of day. It's nothing crazy, but after playing some bad military shooters from other value publishers, these levels really aren't that bad. See? I had something good to say about it. I was going to say that the graphics don't look half bad, but that's only at a passing glance. When you start looking close, you'll notice that everyone has the same animations. And, yeah, this game really doesn't look that great. I cannot believe I found a speedrun of this game on YouTube. Like, why? Is it because you knew no one else would run it, so your record would go uncontested? I mean, what was the plan here? To be fair, I see comments all the time where people call Raven Squad their childhoods and how they have fond memories of it. However, I tend to see this on almost every gameplay video of every game ever. It furthers my theory that most games have at least one fan. Nostalgia is strong, and if Raven Squad's your favorite game, then awesome. Cool. I don't gatekeep. I will, however, never trust any opinion about video games you may have. Because how can someone like this? How can someone have fun? I'm surprised ValueSoft's name ain't tied to it somehow. But there you have it. I hope this was satisfying for you. I will never launch this game ever again. I really do seriously want to extend thank yous to everyone who made this 1,000 sub milestone possible. I'd thank specific individuals, but at this point I think everyone knows who they are and what they've done for the growth of CD-ROM Fossil. I have no other goals planned, but we'll see what I come up with. Maybe I'll do something special for 1,500, assuming I hit that. But I never expected to reach 1,000, so this is genuinely, honestly, pretty amazing. It may be a small number in the sea of YouTube channels, but for me, it's truly remarkable. Because I worked to get here, man, and I met some cool people, talked to some cool people, found games I never would have known otherwise. So yeah, this is pretty great. I was getting a little burned out there around the 800 sub mark and wasn't sure if I was going to make it to the finish line that was 1,000. But now that I've made it and expanded my videos to doing console stuff and newer stuff too, I just felt a jolt of motivation to keep me going. Not sure for how long, but definitely for a bit. This was a very rejuvenating goal to hit. I really appreciate all of the viewers, subscribers or not, and I can't wait to see what this channel produces and what kind of shenanigans we get into. Now, with all that sappy stuff out of the way, I hate all of you for making me play this game. I should ban all of you from the Discord. Now I'm going to go play something good, and I may even throw Raven Squad away, this physical edition away. I'm done. I'm done. It's over. Happy 1,000 subscribers, everybody. I'm finished. I'm out.